Hi guys, it's Miss Cavalier. Mrs. Dillon is gone, so you are going to watch this video. I'm going to work you through some examples, and then you're going to work on some practice problems on your own with a worksheet, and then after that you have a dice activity to complete. As you work through this video, if you need more time on an example, if you didn't catch something, hit pause, rewind, do what you need to do so that the video works for you so that you have an understanding. You should have two papers. You should have one paper that looks like this flip chart that says Algebra 2.6 notes. You should have another paper that is a worksheet with 20 questions that says Algebra section 2.6. So what we're doing today is we're looking at proportions. This is not new. You have done this, but we're going to add a step to it to get you better prepared for algebra. So looking at these notes, looking at the first example, make sure that yours is flipped over to the correct side and matches mine. So you should have determined whether 7/8 and 49/56 are equivalent ratios and justify your answer. There's three different ways we can do this. The first way that we can do this is we can take 7 divided by 8 and 49 divided by 56. If those two answers are equal, these ratios are equal. Another way we can do this is we can cross multiply 7 times 56 and 8 times 49. If those two numbers are equal, then these ratios are equal. That's how we're going to do this today, because it's going to tie in later as we throw variables into our equation. So doing this, 8 times 49 needs to be equal to 7 times 56 if these two fractions, these two proportions, are equal. Well, 8 times 49 is 392. And then 7 times 56 is also 392. Because these two numbers are equal, that means these two ratios are also equal. Now, I wrote 8 times 49 first, and then 7 times 56. Doesn't matter. I could have done 7 times 56 first, and then 8 times 49. I just need to see that the two answers are equal. Okay, going to the next one. We have 2/3 and 16/24, we want to see if those are equal. So I'm going to take 2 times 24 and see if that is equal to 3 times 16. So 2 times 24 is 48. Well, 3 times 16 is also 48, so these are equal. Looking at the next one, 5 times 49. Let's see, that is 245. 6 times 40 is 240. Those are not equal, so 5, 6 does not equal 40 times 49. You could also see 5 times 8 is 40. 6 times 8 is not 49, so those are not equal. But again, we're doing it this way so that we can get practice for when we throw a variable in. Okay, this next example is the exact same, but we just made it look scarier by throwing decimals in. So 0.25 times 2, and then 0.6 times 1.25. Okay, here I get 50, or 0.5, and here I get 0.75. So these are not equal, so these two ratios, these two proportions are not equal. Okay, so taking that and applying it a step further, again, 2 times 20 is 40, and then 2.5 times 16 is also 40, so these are equal, so those two proportions are equal. Okay, now we're going to throw a variable in there. So I'm going to do the same thing. 12 times 3 is equal to 8 times n, or n times 8. Okay, this is 36 equals 8n. So some of you are thinking I could just do the fish method, which you're absolutely correct. You could do the fish method here. 12 times 3 divided by 8. Well, that's what we did, 12 times 3. Now, to solve for n, I'm going to divide by 8, and I get 4.5 is equal to n. So this is the algebraic way of doing the fish method. Some of you can do this part in a calculator without having to show all your work. That's fine, but we're going to add a step. So when we add the step, it's going to be important that you show your work and that you know how to show your work. So that's why we start with these simple ones and then we build on. We'll do another one like this. Okay, here, this is where we're going to add a step. So I'm going to cross multiply. Again, it doesn't matter what I start with. I'll go ahead and do x plus 4 times 4. And I could have wrote the 4 here. I just chose to write it here. 12 times 3 is 36. Okay, this is what we did on Monday and Tuesday. We have to distribute this now. So that's 4x plus 16 equals 36. This is now a two-step equation. So I subtract 16. 4x equals 20. And divide by 4 to get x equals 5. Okay, so let's do another one. So this top one, this is fish method. This is what we've been doing. You know how to do this. So we're going to multiply 9 times 7 to get 63. That's equal to 10 times r. Solving for r, I divide by 10 to get 6.3. This is the new one. So it doesn't matter where I start. I'll go ahead and do x minus 6 times 8. So 8 times x minus 6 equals 5 times 16, which is 80. Distribute 8x minus 48 equals 80. Okay, 80 is all alone. I'm going to leave it all alone. Combining like terms, I want to add 48. That way all my numbers are together and my variable is alone on this side. Okay, now that my variable's separate and my numbers are separate, we divide by 8. Sorry, this is so sloppy. So 128 divided by 8 is 16. Okay, so if you did not understand that, you can rewind the video, rewatch it, ask Mrs. Burnett, come ask Mrs. Cavalier. If you feel like you're ready, you need to go grab your other page, the Algebra Section 2.6 worksheet. I'm going to do 2 examples on there, and then you're just going to work. So on the Algebra 2.6, looking at number 1, 11 ninths is equal to 12b times 3. Doing the same thing. 11 times 3 is 33. 9 times 12 is 108. B. Okay, B is my variable, so I want to get it by itself, so I'm going to divide by 108. 33 divided by 108 is 0.31 something. I'm going to round it to 0.31. So that's number 1 on the worksheet that says Algebra Section 2.6. Number 11 on the back. We have 7 6 equals 5 times x plus 9. Okay, so it doesn't matter where I start. 6 times 5 is 30. That is equal to 7 times x plus 9. Distribute. Don't forget to distribute to the second number. That's where I see the most mistakes. 7x plus 63. Combining like terms, subtract 63. I have negative 33 equals 7x. Divide by 7. Divide by 7. X is equal to a negative 4 point, I think 7. That might be a little off. So you might double check that one with a calculator. Okay? All right, so that's the end of the video. If you have questions, see the sub, or you can see Mrs. Cavalier, or you can wait for Tuesday for Mrs. Dillon.